Thank you, Madam President, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this. But I just had to get up and say a few words about the amendment, and certainly everybody has a right to put forward amendments that they think are worthy. Though I would say that I just have a strong objection to this amendment in the first place. I think it's mean. I think the amendment itself is mean to a small group of people who have now found themselves in the crosshairs of being picked on by people who think that they can get an advantage by putting down people who are not like them. That's a problem. We're here as elected officials, whether in this chamber, the chamber downstairs, someplace else.
Senator Harding.
Thank you, Madam President. We mentioned earlier on this amendment about motivations for individuals voting. I think that speaks directly to the motivations of the proponent.
Senator Duff.
Thank you, Madam President. As I said, I was speaking on the amendment, not to the person who called the amendment and brought it forward. So I will continue with my comments on the fact that I believe that this amendment and what is happening is that it is a small group of people who are being picked on by a larger group of people. And that shouldn't happen. We are here in this chamber to protect and speak up for those who are voiceless, who don't have the same pulpit that we do. And I think that we should keep that in mind. I mean, again, we're talking about 1% of people who participate in sports, or 1% of the population who may identify as transgender. That's not hardly a lot of people, and frankly, I don't know that there are a lot of transgender athletes who decide to be trans because they want to play sports. It's for a whole nother reason. And so, Madam President, I just have a real issue with that, and the fact that we've just been discussing about special ed funding, and that we're talking about funding, whether it's 92 million or 40 million, and yet here we are saying how important this is, and yet we're still standing here ready to turn our back on that by offering this amendment and thinking that if it passes, it then has to go back to the House of an uncertain future, and then we don't know what's again going to happen to this funding. So I just think that, again, this is going after a small group of people who are vulnerable, and it is an attack on them. It's an attack on them who don't deserve it. They have never deserved it. They didn't ask for it. And I believe it is our job to push forward equal rights. It is our job to push forward on equity. It is our job to push forward on speaking for those who can't speak for themselves. And that's what we should be doing. We should be working to educate our constituents about why people are different and why we should treat them with love and respect rather than trying to marginalize them. So again, anybody can offer an amendment that they like. And that's what I said in the beginning. This is not personal to the proponent of the amendment. I'm speaking specifically on the words on this amendment, that I hope my colleagues will vote no on this, because I don't think that this is, I think it's barely germane to the bill as it is, but I don't think this is something that we should be voting for, because these are not the values that we hold dear here in the state of Connecticut.